Hey guys, you want to do a podcast?
Sure, why not?
All right, guys, we're doing a podcast. What's up, everyone? This is Dave LeClaire. I am from Connecticut. I am not Justin Pott. I am the inferior version of Justin Pott here to host this podcast today because Justin is out in the wilderness doing wildernessy things because that's what he does. I am joined by the British beefcake, James
Beef.
Bruce.
I think that's a compliment I've never been called before, but I like it. Thank you. That's
I probably should have planned something in advance to say about you, but I just tried to think of a word that started with B, and beefcake was what came to my mind. So
sweet.
British
I'll take it.
beefcake. And I am also joined by fellow make useverse slash man who fills in when Justin is off doing more fun things than being on the podcast, Guy McDowell. What's up, Guy?
Not much. Just enjoying finally a sunny day here up in Nova Scotia, Canada.
So I should call you Guy McDowell then, right?
Ah, je ne suis pas Guy, je suis Guy. Je ne suis en francophono, je suis en francophonie.
He's speaking gibberish, guys. Just
A little French joke for if anyone in French out there is. Basically, I said I'm not a francophone, I'm a francophony.
There you go. So, special note for this week's episode, talk.io is apparently broken. So, we do not have a chat room. What we do have, though, is the Google Plus Q&A thing, which we have posted on our Facebook. So you can go on there, click that link, go to the Q&A. So if you want to ask us something and you want to interact with us, that's probably your best way to do it. You could also go to the YouTube video. This is how we used to do it back in the really old days before we had this chat room. You could go to
Hey,
the
check that
YouTube
out.
video and comment.
There's a link on the video in the bottom left that actually says join the live Q&A on Google Plus Hangout. So that's kind of cool. You can click that.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Koshi
So-
has already found it.
Yeah,
He's saying
Koshi's-
where is the chat room? So we answered that one. Done.
Yep. Oh, and here we go. I see the comments saying that yeah, Scudderman says talk.io seems to be down in the chat. So, yeah. So there you go. So that's that. The chat is we apparently we switched the podcast to a Thursday, and the talk.io takes Thursdays off. We didn't know that, but whatever.
Unfortunate.
So let's move on to the first story, and that
Breaking-
is breaking. It's live and living right now. It's happening. James, what's breaking right now?
This is going to change your entire outlook on life. I swear, this is a life-changing moment right here. Remember Ski Free for Windows 3.1?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, of course, everyone remembers that.
The little one where you're a little skier, you go around, you avoid all the obstacles in life, you skillfully go through life, and then eventually, the, what is he, a Yeti Man Bear Pig thing, he
Yeah.
comes along and he kills you. And,
If he can catch you.
well, yeah, it's the inevitability of it, because there just was nothing you could do. You would go, you try your hardest, I'm going to avoid him this time, I'm going to avoid death, and then he's like, no, I've got you. So, call me crazy, but apparently, you can press F
For faster.
for faster, and this would make you outrun the Yeti.
I did not know that. I
Mind
did not know that till today. And yeah, exactly. Mind blown. Like, that hours, days would have been added back to my life. I mean, really, Ski Free was a good version of what something like Flappy Birds calls itself.
Yes. Now, we don't endorse cheating death, though.
Well, it's inevitable that you will die because it is a non-ending game. But it just,
It was an endless runner before it was cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the evolution of endless runner, and now we're back there because there's even like endless skiers on the App Store. What's it called? James, you probably know this. What's that ski game called that was popular for
I
a
don't
while?
Only Ski Free. After that, it was just never worth playing again.
The rest are imitations, purely imitations.
Actually.
So that's
But
that.
that was our top story this week, so it's basically all downhill from here. I'm sorry.
Wait, that was first of all, that wasn't even.
that
news.
wasn't the top story. That was
That
great.
was the setup. This whole story was a setup for that one pun, wasn't it? It's all downhill from here.
Wait, I don't
Press
even
that,
think.
press
I
that,
honestly don't
press
even
that.
think he did that on purpose.
Go faster. Press
He
it.
did it. He has no idea that he made that pun. He still doesn't know what you're talking about. He's like, "What pun? I don't understand."
Is
All
there,
right.
is there downhill skiing in England?
They have a lot of indoor skiing, as far as I understand it, in England.
We
They have
have
like
indoor skiing, yeah. We don't really have downhill because there's not really much of a hill. There's more like low slopes kind of thing.
What on earth is indoor skiing?
it's like they ski on like this synthetic stuff, and it's supposed to
It's
simulate.
really bad. It's not.
No.
It's not good at all. It
Kind
doesn't.
of like a treadmill or something, or
No, it's like you
Kind of like
ski
fake
down a
grass.
hill, but it's like just not on real snow. It's on like this.
It's not even on fake snow. It's not.
It's like this
just not good.
plastic material that looks like waffles, kind of like white waffles.
that's bizarre. That's bizarre.
Yeah. So
What are we gonna do, man? We don't get snow for.
you could just
Yeah.
not ski.
Well, you are home. You are home. You know, Britain is home to perhaps the most famous ski jumper in the world, though, ever. Right? Eddie the Eagle?
I don't know that.
You don't know Eddie the Eagle? They don't teach this stuff in your schools?
Heard of that, but not really.
Guy just showed up at the Calgary Olympics one day.
Let's
Say,
not talk about skiing.
hey, I'm here to represent England in the ski jump, which, if you know, is like a huge, huge jump coming down the hill. I don't know, 100 yards or whatever. Then you fly, and you're a couple hundred yards up in the air, and then you try to land without dying. And he'd never done it before, but he showed up, and they, by Olympic rules or whatever, had to let him try to compete. And a few countries took pity on him and last minute tried to show him some tips and loaned him some equipment. And he failed spectacularly, but he was the toast of the town. Yep, Eddie the Eagle, they called him.
Well, that just goes to show you shouldn't attempt something you know nothing about.
Precisely. If he had to hit F, he would have been safe.
All right, guys, let's move on to the top story of the week this week.
Django?
It's about Django Unchained, and the coders have replaced him with all references to master slave with leader follower.
That would really ruin the
Sounds
movie.
great.
Could you imagine?
Django, a data. Do you know anything about Django, Guy?
It's a framework for development, isn't it? Like a Python development framework?
Yeah. A databasey kind of thing and a framework and a thing. But apparently it's quite big, and the coders of Django, the development team, decided to replace all references to master-slave, which is quite a common term for like every database out there.
Indeed.
Your
They
hard
decided
drive,
to
right,
replace
has those little pins on it that are master
Yeah,
and
exactly,
or
right?
slave.
And they decided to replace those all with leader and follower because they are racially charged.
I think
kid
it's
you
only
not.
because of the name of this particular thing, though.
I take offense to the fact that they're saying that it's racially charged, considering the vast majority of slavery throughout history was actually the same race on the same race. It was more of an elitism thing. You know, there was
Just different
plenty of,
classes.
you know, yeah, it's exactly. It's, you know, so
But I thought we should probably stop calling things like white lists and black lists because they're clearly racist too.
oh, definitely, you know.
And dongles, we got to get rid of those. Those are not.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yeah,
just
now
sounds
you're
nasty.
crossing the line,
What would you call a
Don.
white list? Like an OK list or something, or this
You're
is
crossing the line, man. You can't get rid of dongles.
Well, okay, like, can we get rid of method, view, and controller because, you know, the view, that excludes people who are vision impaired.
I'm seeing you there.
Maybe we'll get rid of handles because that excludes quadriplegics and people without hands. I'm just saying, you know. And really, leader and follower, that makes a huge assumption, too, that isn't necessarily applicable within programming, where if you're a leader, the assumption is that the person who's your follower will follow, and that doesn't always happen. However, in a master and slave relationship, the slave doesn't follow, the master can enforce, you know. Just saying. Just putting it out there.
Guys.
This thread where they announced it's huge. It's like the longest GitHub page I've ever seen. It just goes on forever.
Yeah, it's all people commenting like, "Why are you so dumb?"
Yeah.
And a lot of people saying, yeah, we support this. It's totally racially charged.
Guys, we got
Well,
an important question in the hangout
We
from.
got tons of questions, and they're not really questions.
Well, we got one that's a question, and it's guys, why girls don't like root?
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Me neither. I was hoping we could figure it out. We could think it through.
What does he mean by root?
Root.
We do have
Like
some feedback
the
though. Tom
bottoms,
says that
bottoms of trees.
the related articles thing that I put on to make use of on the sidebar looks fantastic, and Koshi says he hates it. So thanks, guys.
Well, Tom seems to like it.
Yeah.
Whose
Oh,
opinion do we value more, Tom or Koshi?
Oh, and Tom is also telling us that Battlefield 3 is currently free on Origin.
Yeah, it's through the June 3rd. I want to say it's their free, whatever, their Origin free for all or whatever they call it.
I thought it was only until the end of May, but okay.
I thought it was June 3rd, but I could be wrong. Whatever.
Yeah.
If you want free Battlefield 3, you should probably get that. We should have put that in the news, but we didn't because I don't know. We're dumb.
I want to pay. What's the next
Battlefield 3 is actually still pretty good. It's not that much different than 4, so.
But does anyone still play it? Are they not just
Oh,
going to
I'm sure people still play it because 4 is so broken that all the people who went to buy 4, they all switch back to 3.
Why wouldn't they still play Battlefield 3? I mean, we're still playing Ski Free.
True. True.
Well, damn right we are now. We know there's a bloody F key you can
Fucking A.
I feel like I knew that as a kid, but I don't remember.
I no, I had no idea.
Me neither.
So, how would you guys like to have a car that drives itself?
No fucking way.
Because Google made one, and it doesn't even have a steering wheel or pedals. I mean, it is 100% a self-driving car. You order it like a taxi, and it comes and picks you up, and it brings you, and then you go. And it sounds... I would be terrified to actually go down a street in that thing. Like, imagine you're sitting there in the car, you're just relaxing, everything's going great, and you're pulling up to an intersection, and you see the light is red. And there's cars coming really fast both ways, and you're in this tiny little Google car, which if you click on the link, you'll see that it's a tiny little car, and it just doesn't stop. And you're just sitting there. There's no brakes, there's no steering wheel, so you're literally just sitting there just waiting to die, and there's nothing you can do. No override.
I would trust it more than that.
What?
But I would trust it more than that, actually. But still, looking at it, I don't want to be involved in any kind of crash with that.
Yeah, that's
and although this car itself could be the most reliable car ever, it doesn't control every other car on the road, right?
Precisely. That's one issue there. The other issue is, do you have to sign an end user license agreement before you get into it, just in case the software fails?
I'm guessing there has to be some kind of, it's not your fault if we die.
Yeah, and at which case, guess what? I'm not getting in it.
Yeah, it seems a little scary to me. I don't know, but now if every car on the road was one of these, that would be awesome. You'd never have traffic jams. You'd never have anything because everything would be on like a system. But when it's this car against a guy in a Hummer,
oh, you're gonna lose so hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You're never going to have these in America in like that because you couldn't take people's big cars away from them. They'll just be like with their guns. They will defend them to the death, no matter how stupid it is.
It would have to be used strictly within inner city metropolitan areas, kind of like how some cities in Europe have their downtown section fenced off from external traffic. I can see that as being the only use case where this could actually possibly work.
Like throw it right in downtown San Francisco where people don't want to drive anyway because driving there is like hell.
Yep.
And
if they replaced everything in London with these, I would be happy.
How often do you go to London, though?
Rarely. I bloody hate it.
Okay, do you guys remember, I think it was Stuxnet a few years ago, that was a virus that attacked instrumentation control systems?
Didn't it attack nuclear plants or something?
Precisely. I mean, these kind of control systems that people don't see every day but are the basis of technologies that can, kill thousands, they're being attacked every day. I mean, that same thing's going to happen with this Google car. Now, what happens then? I mean, talk about your traffic jam if the entire system gets shut down, or if Google's operating a Microsoft server and boom, it's update Tuesday. That's where I see the issue, is that it may not fail very often, but when it does, it is going to be utterly catastrophic.
Well, don't worry. There'll be the in-app purchases to protect you from that, though, so you'll be fine. You just
In-app insurance purchases. You're
Yeah.
about to get hit by a car. Would you like to purchase it?
We were thinking about updating, which would shut your car down while you're in the middle of the street, but for $1, we'll pause the update until tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
On the upside, here's what I really do like about these cars. You know, no more drunk driving.
but that's the thing. That means if everyone has one, that would be
No,
great.
no, like if you're in the car, you can just, why not? There's no driver, just
Yeah.
go, right?
So would that change the
do that
open
anyway.
container laws? Because like they say you can't have an open container while driving, but if you're in a self-driving car, you could drink away, right? I mean, because you're not
Because
driving.
You're not driving. You're no longer in the care and control of the vehicle. So,
Although
yeah.
Koshi says that there is a stop button, so you are apparently my theory about barreling towards an intersection with cars speeding at you is not 100% reality, because you do have the ability to stop it if you need to. Of course, I know you just get rear-ended by all the cars behind you, which whatever, that's
I
fine.
wonder how quick it stops, because I'd be just pressing that to watch the person beside me go flying.
I'm getting messages from fellow Make Use of staffers asking where's the chat room.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Koshi says, oh, sorry. Koshi says, I'm sorry I was late for work by 3 days. My car got bricked.
That was Scudderman who said that, right? All right, let's move on.
So the next story is about James's favorite topic, which is virtual
James'
reality.
favorite company.
And yeah, but his favorite topic from his favorite company. This is great.
Samsung is the most awesome innovator in the world, as we all know.
Define innovative.
Done it again. They are planning to beat both Oculus and Sony to the VR headset game. They're hoping to come to market before them both. So they're going to steal all the ideas that are out there already, use their own screens, I'm guessing, and they're also hoping to undercut them both. So
Well, that's not innovation. That's good. That's good manufacturing and marketing.
that's typical Samsung innovation.
They're following the Apple model.
Hey, but look at it this way. If you actually want VR to be taken seriously, James, which, it never will be because it's a joke, but if it ever you want it to, you want more people making them.
See,
No, yeah.
when I was 20 years ago was the first time I strapped on a VR headset. 20 years ago. Now think about that.
Awesome.
So it was at the time, and it cost like, I don't know, $10, and you got like 2 minutes in this VR thing that was the size of a Fiat in the middle of a mall, and it was a waste of $5. Like, even then, I mean, virtual reality is a novelty, and I believe it will always continue to be a novelty until they can give you a headset that is along the lines of the Google Glass, where it's
Along the lines of Google. What you mean, like just
it will have to be like this. You put it on, and not one of these big honking things that goes over your head, or
That's not going to work, is it? Because it needs to be immersive, and if you only have, I mean, the reason Google Glass does that is because they don't need to take up your entire vision. The whole point of something, like, how can you have something take up your entire vision without covering your entire vision?
Well, they're going to have to, with miniaturization of electronics. I mean, you would have to have some sort of a shield, of course, but these headsets that go on there, they're huge. That pull, they're like you feel like an upside down weeble wobble when you have them on.
They're not that heavy, man.
But look,
Okay, yeah, I can see
look how
that.
spindly my neck is. My neck is so spindly, break me in half.
Yeah, he's got a real skinny neck over there. His head is just like.
Do I have a neck? I don't know.
Most people were pissed off to put a pair of flimsy 3D glasses on, though. I mean, I gotta think that those kind of people aren't ever going to wear something like that, even if it was miniaturized.
Yeah, I wouldn't, because I can't stand wearing anything over top of my glasses.
Or glasses. No, wait, you're wearing glasses.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna say wearing glasses
over
all the
them?
time, but
Like, if I wear safety glasses over my glasses, it just fucking
That is
drives me nuts.
No, but that's the good thing about Oculus for a start. What are you long-sighted or short-sighted?
Short-sighted.
So
Mostly astigmatism.
you can actually put in like different lenses to suit your eyes, so you don't need to wear glasses at the same time. You can just, it acts as your glasses inside with the lenses, which is kind of cool.
But what kind of applications are these things going to have outside of gaming? Like to the average day-to-day user?
Well, one that I've heard that sounds cool is the whole like using it for like an architect to show someone their house that they're building. You know, like instead of here's some blueprints to look at, like here's a walkthrough. You know, and you can walk through.
Virtual travel is kind of the thing as well. I think that's going to be big, especially for education, where you can't afford to take kids to Egypt to see the pyramids, but you can afford to put them in a VR headset and have them wander around.
We don't take them to Egypt as it is.
Well, that's the point. Now they could go to Egypt.
Well, I don't know about you, but my school did.
Well, we're on North America. That's a little far for us. We go to like Washington D.C. and shit.
And there goes the field trip. Now all of a sudden you've got all these kids that never get to experience the joys of the field trip.
There is no joy in a field trip.
Local library or the bloody Natural History Museum in London or something. I'm talking about going over to the other side of the world to experience what they... Like, imagine a history lesson where you're talking about the Vikings and you
then the Vikings can kill you in real life.
Yes, you can put them inside a Viking warship and see as the Vikings go and slaughter, pillage, and rape the... Wait, no.
That sounds fantastic.
Okay, I'm sold. I want one now. I want one.
Our kids need that. That's... So what Tom says, or Scudderman says, what VR needs more than anything else right now is a standardized API that programmers can use to code for all devices at once. Otherwise, we get the 1990s browser wars all over again.
And that is something Oculus is working towards, I might add.
Tom, I got to tell you something right now.
Scudderman, call him Scudderman.
Unicorns aren't real. Snuffleupagus isn't real. Standardization is never real. Sorry, I mean, it's a lesson. The sooner you learn it, the better off you'll be.
I mean, think about it this way: like the video game consoles don't use standardization. Like it's different to develop for the PlayStation from the Xbox to the PC, but they make that work. You know, they're similar enough that things can be ported, but it takes time and manpower. But I'm sure even if there was 3 legitimate VR headsets and VR was actually popular, that it wouldn't be that hard to move between the 3 of them, just like it's not that hard to move between the game consoles.
Yeah, you would basically... Sorry, go ahead, James.
Scudderman also is saying something about seeing a video demo of someone using a new system called Cast AR for 3D printing, where you can kind of visualize your 3D print before it actually happens, which is kind of cool.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool.
I'm a bit skeptical about Cast AR, actually. It's kind of... It's not a screen. It works as having 2 projectors over your eyes, and it projects onto a material and then back at your eyes. So it's a kind of augmented reality, but you have to use like a special painted surface at the moment, which I'm not so sure about.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, that could be cool.
So guys, do you like Windows XP?
Nope.
Oh. Well, then we could just skip the story. No, just kidding.
I never thought about it.
So there's a Windows XP registry hack that apparently lets you keep updating it. What is going on here, James?
What it does is it fools the Windows Update Service into thinking that you have, I think it's Windows Embedded or Windows Server 2003, which is basically Windows XP, but a more hardened version of it. But this could do more damage as well, because you're pretending to be an operating system that you're not. So it might tweak some settings that like your machine doesn't have. It might break it, but on the other hand, if you're resolutely going to run Windows XP, you're an idiot. But
yeah, I don't understand, why are people so afraid? It just update your stupid computer. Stop it. What is wrong with people? They're doing all this weird nonsense shit to keep their OS from like 10 years ago. Just stop.
I think it's just a principle thing at the moment. It's not even a practical thing. Like they just don't like the idea of Microsoft stopping support for something because that's so unprecedented elsewhere, you know.
It's not like they didn't get their money's worth.
I can see for the case for it in a commercial sense, where people may have critical systems still running on XP, and they don't want to go out and buy all new hardware and everything and upgrade.
Oh, have they not had good warning of this? Like, critical systems running on Windows XP, you fucking suck as a company.
James, there are no unicorns.
We already went over this, James.
Okay, I'm sorry, there are no unicorns. I know.
There are no people in business suits making good decisions. Nobody believes the tech. You should know that by now.
Yeah, you're right.
What I find funny about this whole thing is that one of the lead breakers of the story was Forbes. So we're getting our hacking news from Forbes now? That's just bizarre.
I bet you Forbes is still using Windows XP on half their computers too, so that's why they posted it. They were so excited. They're like, yeah, we don't have to update.
Yeah, we saved $10. Woo! And I just thought it was funny. I mean, obviously hacking is, in this sense, in the sense of not cracking, as we would have called it 20 years ago, but hacking is finally gone mainstream where Forbes is reporting on it. You know, but it'll be really mainstream when I see it on TMZ.
Yeah, that's the real deal. When you make it to the celebrity gossip show thing website, you know you're the big time.
That's right.
So, Windows XP, go away. Stop it.
Anybody going to do it? Don't.
So, James, what do you know about Google and their webcams and thermostats? And they're watching us and stalking us and trying to take our souls.
So they bought the Nest thing a while ago, which was the home thermostat that reports, I don't know, presumably how hot your house is. And when you come home as well, it knows that as well, right? And it also knows when you have a fire because they own the Home Protect whatchamajigs, fire alarms.
Whatchamajig.
And now they're buying Dropcam, which is a webcam company, a connected home webcam company. I don't have one. I think we reviewed one, didn't we?
I don't remember. We reviewed a lot of things.
This is a little bit scary. What is Google doing with, you know, surveillance cameras in addition to home thermostats and smoke alarms? It's very much an Eye of Sauron kind of thing.
And cars, don't forget that.
And cars. Is there something they don't have their little fingers in?
That sounded really dirty, but yeah.
They don't have they somehow don't have a game console yet, like a proper hook up to your TV video game. Not even like one of those shitty little Android boxes.
Yeah.
True.
Doesn't that count?
They don't have but they don't even have a shitty end. They have the Chrome stick. That's not a game console.
Now, I thought Google had this kind of mandate. I don't know if it was official or anything. The whole "do no evil," and all I can see them now is going away from that as being a guiding light for them to being kind of like
a suggestion.
It's more or less their goal for society is that they're going to control us so we can't do evil or something.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything evil yet. They're just setting up the foundation for if they want to later.
They haven't.
No, what has Google done? I haven't seen anything bad from Google.
Well, they're selling data all the time and giving it away free to different government organizations. You could consider that unethical.
They made Android. That's pretty shit. I don't know if I'd call it evil, but it's shit.
Unethical, but not evil. I mean, compared to some companies out there, I still have a lot more, I guess, trust for Google than most big companies.
Wasn't Sergey Brin? Wasn't he screwing around on his wife or something?
I don't care what people do in their personal life.
But that's, technically that's evil. It's a cardinal sin.
That does not bother me in the slightest. I don't care when I hear that like the president is getting a blowjob under his desk or something. None of that.
Well, if he could break that sacred promise to his wife, right? Then couldn't he also break that sacred promise to everyone that he promised to do no evil, right?
Oh, easily, yeah.
Easily.
He's only a human being.
Exactly.
I'm sure that it was worth it.
Oh no! Wait, sorry. Scudderman says they dropped the do no evil. So there you go.
Oh well, it's okay then.
Yeah, as long as you drop that manifesto, you could do lots of evil then.
That motto, so yeah.
They've adopted the new manifesto of "we're gonna fuck you over, and you're gonna pay us for it."
Still, I think overall, I think Google is not a bad company for the size that Google is. I think they could certainly be much worse, and there are certainly much worse companies out there in the world than
Oh,
Google.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I
With the
mean,
amount of power they have, they could do some pretty bad shit if they wanted
definitely.
Not like
to.
America.
Yeah, it's kind of exactly. Google is like America, except we do the dumb shit, and they just
Do the
have
evil.
to do the dumb shit.
The best characterization I ever heard of America was picture a 16-year-old gorilla with a shotgun. That's America. You know, and in tech terms, that's kind of Google in a sense. Is that they have this incredible power and capabilities, but not necessarily the maturity with it yet to really do great, truly great things for mankind.
That kind of sounds like more like Facebook to me.
I mean, in my mind, Facebook is still just a web app.
Facebook is like a 16-year-old gorilla with a shotgun and $1 trillion to spend on whatever the fuck it wants.
More shotguns, presumably.
Facebook is more like a 62-year-old woman gossiping down at the local coffee shop, I think.
Oh, hey, I'm going to add another story real quick, which is not on the outline, but I just remembered it because I know James will like it. So, James, have you heard about ZeniMax suing Oculus?
Yeah, didn't we do that before? It's like such a non-story. They said
Yeah, but
that
now it's actually, before they were basically just like, they're both sides were like pulling their penises out, meaning like, look at how big mine is. No, look how big mine is. Now they're
Yeah.
actually going to court. And
That's terribly sexist, Dave. I think we've excluded women from that.
all right, fine, look at how big my boobs
Yes.
are.
Look at how large my hooch is. Yeah. My
So they're actually filing suit now. It's not they're not just like jockeying with the public to try to get the public on their side. It sounds like this is the end of Oculus. So see you later, guys.
oh yeah, go up against Facebook. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, the main argument is that remember John Carmack used to work under them, under ID Software. So technically, whatever he did while he was working for them is theirs. That's kind of how it works. And apparently they did a lot of advice and helping of Oculus in the early days.
Apparently they were actually working on VR like way back for some type of Elder Scrolls virtual reality game, and Carmack was involved in it, and they scrapped it. But they're saying that like the knowledge that he gained during that he used to help Oculus with no benefit to them.
There's no actual code. They haven't pointed to any code that they can say Carmack wrote this while he was working for this. There is no code to point at, nothing specific. All they can do is say, we gave them advice. And like, is that grounds for a lawsuit?
My guess is Facebook has lots of money. Facebook will just settle out of court and say, here's some money, shut the fuck up and leave us alone.
I don't want them to settle. I really hope they don't settle. I hope they fight it out, however much it costs, just to...
It sounds like a patent trolling type of situation where they know that they're not going to win, but they're going to get a nice juicy settlement for just a few $1 million worth of legal fees. This company ownership of intellectual property it's foolishness to a point. Like, okay, they say, oh, we own the code. Well, how can you say that unless they also invented the actual coding language? You know, if I use a segment of code to build a website, and I use an HTML tag on that website, and I use an identical one on another website, did I violate IP law or IP agreements with the company that I did the work for?
It's the same in universities as well, though. It's not just companies. I mean, the whole of academia, if you're tenured somewhere, if you do the research there, then whatever you do becomes theirs. Any patents you find become theirs.
Well, the patents, perhaps, but the knowledge that you gained while doing it, I mean, you're supposed to, when you go to another school or a company, you're not allowed to utilize the knowledge. You know, you should have that portion of your brain redacted. I don't know. Like it gets a little ridiculous.
That's the thing. Yeah, but it's not even I think it's not when he left that he started using the knowledge. It's while he was still working for ZeniMax. But is that knowledge theirs? It's
Precisely.
It is.
If I learn how to administer a Windows 8's 2008 server at work, and I go and do that for someone on the side.
It wasn't even on the side, was it? It was
advice, right?
It was advice, and it was allowed. It was like, yeah. It wasn't like you were sneaking off and telling competitors how to do things. They weren't competing for a start, right?
Yeah. It
So
sounds. Yeah, it sounds something like a patent trolling issue to me.
Well, if you want to read the whole thing, Polygon posted the 55-page document that was submitted by ZeniMax, and it has all kinds of pictures and text, and if you got a lot of time on your hands, you could go read that, I guess.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
So let's move on to James's Raspberry Pi video that just went up today. James, what is in your Raspberry Pi video besides raspberries and pie?
Oh God, I've totally forgotten.
Yeah, me too. That's why I was asking you. It was so long ago that thing was in the queue for like a month or something.
Oh, you buffoon. All right, what was in it? Let me click through.
It's a computer. There are two models. It runs Linux.
Today I'd like to give you an introduction to the Raspberry Pi.
Are you playing that or am I?
You are.
I'm not.
There are technically two models of Raspberry.
Well, I'm not playing. I'm looking at it right now.
Stop it!
It's you.
That was the original.
It's not me. Shut up. One of you, shut up.
Guy?
That's hilarious. You two are going back and forth, and it's like, oh wow, process of elimination. I've eliminated you, and I've eliminated you. What about the third guy? No, it can't be him.
Damn it, Guy. Hey.
Well, yeah, if you don't know anything about Pi, the Raspberry Pi, you should go and look at it.
If you watched James's video about Arduino and the basics of getting into that nonsense, this follows a very similar type of pattern, and that video was good, so this one's good, so watch it.
It's a good video. It is a good video, and I can safely say that without any bias. It would come with less bias from Dave, because apparently he hates James.
Yeah, but I also edited the video. So I do have a little bit of bias, because I was involved in the making of it.
But yeah, the more, oh geez, I just can't wait until I have the time to actually sit down and do something with a Raspberry Pi. I don't know if you guys know, but I come from an instrumentation background where I did a lot of programmable logic circuit programming and a lot of digital in-out controls and all that sort of stuff. So I really want to get my hands on this and put it through the paces. And this just gets me more interested.
Why aren't you on my DIY team?
Time is what.
Guy's busy, man.
Not acceptable.
James, I would join your DIY team, but I don't know how to do anything.
No, you don't do
I saw that. I was like, that all sounds pretty cool. And I was like, but I don't know how to do anything. So what am I going to do?
But that's the thing. You don't have to know how to do something. Just figure out something you'd like to do, and go and do it, and write what you learn.
Yeah, but I also don't like doing
good
things. I like sitting in one
things.
spot and not moving.
So not much of an article in that. Sorry.
No, yeah, I can't really write an article about how I sat in one spot.
The video's even worse.
What, James? What are you saying?
You just like to play Dota. That's basically all you do.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of talk on the Technophilias about like Dota and starting like a Technophilia Dota team. So I wrote an article about 3 heroes in Dota that are really good for new players and what makes them good. And then at the bottom I included some heroes that people always say like, oh, that's a noob hero for picking. And I have refuted those with reasons for that they're actually not good for new players and you should avoid them. So yeah, there you go. So go read that if you guys want to get into Dota. Actually, our own Robert Wiesahan, you may know as a make use of writer, he's actually thinking about getting into Dota, and apparently on his Twitch stream he's going to play for like the first time live and in living color today at whatever time his Twitch stream is. I want to say like 5 or something. And then on Monday I'm gonna coach him on his Dota has a thing where you can coach the other people, so I'm gonna coach him live on his Twitch stream. I can't do it today because I have a hockey game, but I'm gonna coach him on the stream, so it should be interesting. So whatever Monday, go check that out and watch me try to teach Rob how to play Dota better. Now,
Dota, I understand this is one of these games that's kind of a standard game for. I don't know why I was doing that. A standard game for. It's gamer. I don't know. A standard game for these world-class gaming competitions.
Esports.
Esports. Thank you. Yeah.
I hate that word, but yeah, that's what people call it.
It's a lot shorter than whatever I said. Yeah.
Yeah, Dota is big. Dota and League of Legends, those are the two biggest, and they're both the same. They're almost the same game. You know, it's two. They're both 3-lane, 5-on-5 action RTSs or MOBAs as they call them. And yeah, those are the two big ones. Dota has the big thing going on right now with they're doing like crowd-funded prize pool for their yearly tournament, and the prize pool is up to $7 million for a video game competition, which is obviously by far the biggest prize pool for a video game competition. So yeah, Dota is the reason that those games are so well suited to like that type of thing is that there's only one map in both of those games, so it's almost like the map is like a football field. You know, it doesn't change. It's just the field. So in Dota, it's just the map.
So there's a degree of standardization upon which everybody can be judged. Cool.
Yep. So there you go. Dota. I love Dota, but it pisses me off sometimes. And the other day, I almost quit Dota, and I decided to go play a game of League of Legends because I was so mad at Dota. And then I realized I don't like that game, so I stopped playing that game.
Someone here says they like Sniper and Tinker.
Yeah, Koshi has been trying to learn Dota, so those are his two heroes that he likes to play.
Okay.
Sniper is garbage, Koshi. Stop playing Sniper. He's garbage tier hero. Don't play him. Tinker's good, but you should not be playing Tinker as a beginner. He's like super, super hard to play. So James, we got some giveaways going on the site. People can win some free shit.
Yes. Sorry, I just found out someone's been impersonating us in the comments, which is quite funny. They've just been typing in our email address.
In the comments where?
Not sure if that was Koshi. Koshi posted a link, something about RAM, and then Justin commented with, "What kind of RAM should I download?" I don't know if that's even Justin, though. It's someone's impersonating.
Justin does like to make troll comments, but...
Yeah, we're going to have to do something about this.
But Justin is on vacation.
That's very true. He wouldn't have written that, would he?
But this has his like photo and everything.
Well, yeah, because you just put in their email. But anyway, what was the question? Sorry.
We got some giveaways going on.
Oh well, yeah, we have some giveaways. The first one's yours. It looks like complete nonsense. Do you have it?
It is look at this monstrosity. Look at this thing.
When you went through it in the video, I kind of thought it was for disabled gamers or something.
No, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be designed so that, kind of like the SCUF controller, which I loved, so that you never have to take your your hand off the joystick. So everything is hit with these little levers.
Why would you do that? The buttons are only like 2 centimeters away. What's the bloody point?
Well, the point is so that you can reload while still aiming at the target that you're aiming at, or melee while still aiming at them without ever having to move over to here.
Okay, so what's your honest judgment?
This particular thing I don't like because it has some design flaws, like where the Y lever is right here, and the B lever is right here. So you hit the B lever with the side of your index finger. So when you go to reach for the Y, a lot of times you accidentally hit the B because they're right. It's like that, you know. So that ends up making you crouch when you're trying to change weapons in Call of Duty, for example. I think it's a cool idea, and I think the little elastics on the back let you kind of change the way you hit the triggers, which is kind of neat. But it's a little much. The SCUF controller that we talked about last week that just has these 2 bumpers on the back that replace 2 of the buttons. It's just a more streamlined design, and it's a lot less nonsense. This is actually not a controller. It's just a thing that clips onto your existing controller. So it's a standard 360 controller with.
Sorry to interrupt. Of course, the one time in the last month when I get an actual IT emergency that I got to bail for.
That's all right. We're getting to the end of the show now anyway, so it's all good.
Right. So thanks for having me, and have a great time, and go Technophilia.
Yeah.
Guy.
Go fix those IT emergencies.
All right.
Right.
So, what else is that? What is this weird thing Arez reviewed here?
I have absolutely no idea. Why don't you cover?
I had to post about it on Facebook, in Google Plus, and I was like, the fuck is this thing? There are far cheaper options. That's the first section. That's not overwhelmingly positive. So it's a Photo Jojo lens kit and Mobi slider camera dolly. That's a mouthful. So it puts some lenses on your smartphone, I think. Yeah, some lenses that go on your smartphone, and then they go, and then it's like a thing that like dolly, you can slide the phone across to get like movement and stuff. And oh man, I don't fucking. Let's just go to the conclusion. Does he like it or not? This is long. Make use of recommends. Don't buy it. There. But you can win it for free, so go check that out. James, this one's yours.
Yeah, this one's mine. Look, I've got it here. This large thing is a lazy pad, a laze pad. So you got your iPad in there, and it's like a hard-wearing rubber thing, and it's actually really cool because it kind of looks like a big triangular block of plastic, right? But it's actually not, because if you have it this way, it's angled like that, so it's really easy to type on. And if you put it that way, it's upright, so you can watch movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's also tapered at the side, so you can actually stand it on its back like that in portrait mode, and it's really cool. I'm totally keeping this. It's my you can put it on your arm as well, which I found out like. You put it on your arm.
Like that thing you always saw on that meme on the internet with the arm pad. Remember that?
Yes, that's what I said. Why buy an iWatch where you're going to have a whole iPad, iArm, like this?
iArm, that was it. iArm.
So yeah, I really like it actually. It's like a $60 case, which kind of seems a bit high, but not when you compare it to some other cases like the OtterBox, which is like a hard-wearing bit of plastic. But if you watch the video, I dropped my iPad on my solid stone table from quite high, and it was fine. I just threw it against the table. It was like, whatever. So it's good. It protects your iPad, especially if you've got kids as well.
What is going? Wait, I would just.
What's wrong with you?
I'm still trying to digest these comments from you and Justin on Facebook.
I found the IP. I'm banning him.
Was that not you either?
On Facebook?
No, I mean on Make Use Of. Was that not you? The response to Justin?
No.
So you don't agree that downloaded RAM is better?
No. Someone's just been. I mean, we allow anonymous comments, so you can type in whatever email address you want, right?
And then it just puts in it knows that that's Justin's email and puts in his picture and your picture.
Well, the picture comes from the email. It's from Gravatar, which is a web service that associates image with an email, right? So.
I like it. I don't think we should ban him. I like it.
Banned.
No, I like it. It's funny.
Karma banned. He'll go straight onto the block list from now on. So never mind. Gaming news.
So Watch Dogs.
This is quick today, didn't we? We were supposed to shorten the show anyway, so that's good.
Yep, Watch Dogs. That's a game. I played it for a few minutes.
Only for a few minutes? You can't really talk about this then, can you?
What we can talk about is the fact that apparently it runs like hot garbage on like almost every PC, but the pirated PC version runs much better, is what I'm hearing from people on like Reddit and stuff.
Yep, there's also a dodgy pirated version around which installs a Litecoin miner, so you may notice 30% of your CPU constantly being given over to mining coins, which is completely unprofitable unless you're using other people's computers, I guess. But yeah, for some reason the internet hates this game.
Yeah, well, they did it to themselves with that whole thing with the E3 trailer looking so much better than the final game, and then people were like, why you trick us, Ubisoft, that's fucked up, why you do that? And then, there's just... The game promised a way bigger scope than it actually has. It's basically Assassin's Creed with a fancy cell phone. But
I
that being
haven't-
said, I enjoyed the bit that I played of it and thought it seemed like a fine game. It just was they set the expectations too high.
See, I don't agree with that because my expectations are never that high for anything. Um, I'm not fully loving it yet, but then I think there is a lot to love in it. It's not like got quite as strong as a hook in the story as GTA 5 had, but I think a lot of the problem is people aren't getting into the world and really role playing this kind of vigilante Batman hacker type, which they seem to have trouble believing in or something. Like there were comments about, oh, it's so stupid you can randomly raise these blocks in the middle of the road. Don't know if you've heard, that's a real thing. We have them in London, and you get cars stuck on them all the time because they only go down for buses, right? And then the bus drives across.
And then
The
someone
car
tries to
finds-
follow. Yeah, I've seen gifs on Reddit of that.
Exactly. Like these aren't a fake. People just have trouble believing that this stuff could even happen, which is
However,
weird.
though, the game takes place in Chicago. Do they have those things in Chicago?
Well, I don't even know what Chicago is. Why would I give a crap? It's a game. Why?
I don't know. I've never been to Chicago, so I'm not an expert of Chicago.
Maybe they probably shouldn't have based it in a real city. That's always a mistake. But maybe part of what the internet hates about this is that it sometimes feels a little too real. Like you can listen in on conversations and hack into webcams and that. Like 3 years ago, okay, fine, you can announce that. That's amazing. Today you announce that, it's like, what is this, an NSA simulator? Like,
Well, it's getting like good to average to good reviews, like 7s and 8s. Not much lower than that. So Giant
from-
Bomb gave it a 3 out of 5, which is considered average on their scale. So I mean, it's it sounds like it's a good game. It's just I don't know that it doesn't sound like it's a great game, which I think everybody thought it was going to be like the next coming. But apparently, it's selling really well.
it depends what you think it's supposed to be. I mean, it tries to be so much, and maybe in the process it's not particularly good at any one part of it. But if you take it as an overall experience, I think it's got a good variety of gameplay, and it is fun.
Yeah, apparently it sold more on the first day than any other Ubisoft game before it.
No doubt there are a lot of pre-orders.
So
I mean,
but that's impressive when you consider how popular Assassin's Creed is.
Yeah, still no idea about Assassin's Creed. Maybe I'm not that far into the game yet, but people are saying how it always devolves into a firefight, and I haven't found that at all. It's very much sneaking around and doing puzzles, kind of like, what's that game with Solid Snake in it?
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. It feels like I never really played Metal Gear, but it kind of feels like that to me, where there's always a sneaky approach to the problem. You know, you don't have to run in and kill everyone, unless that's like it's going to be a game of what you make out of it, rather than putting everything right in your face.
Well, I think I'm going to buy it on Xbox One and play it there.
Hmm.
I feel like this is a game that I'd rather play on my couch in front of the TV, not in front of my computer monitor. Also, the keyboard and mouse controls are absolute poop.
Yeah, I've played both now, and I do prefer the console one.
I mean, I was playing it on a PC with a controller, and it felt fine, but they did some kind of thing. Apparently, you can turn it off if you go edit the XML files of the game. But they did something where they tried to put like mouse smoothing. You could turn that off, but when it's on, it feels like you're moving the mouse. Even just on the menu, I noticed moving the mouse. It feels like you're moving the mouse through like butter. Like the mouse is like in like some thick butter that's like making it like move slow and sluggishly. I didn't like it at all.
I hadn't noticed that.
You told me you hated the PC controls.
Oh, I hate the PC control. I didn't know that was specifically about mouse smoothing, though. It might have just... I mean, it might have been that. Maybe. But look, some things I really quite like so far. There's random puzzles that you'll find which involve going to an area and, for example, trying to find a camera which lines up a QR code that's been kind of separated and painted on different buildings, which is really cool, I think. It's a clever puzzle. You have to find the right viewing angle by jumping around through cameras. And then once you've done that, you unlock like an audio file and then possibly some more skills or whatever. That's pretty clever, I think. And there's also, you kind of climb around buildings, you try to hack through different routers, and In the process, you get to look in on some of the apartments, or you do some other puzzles. There's a lot of puzzling in it.
Yeah, it does seem to have some of that. I mean, I only played like, you go to the baseball, the stadium, and the games happening, and you do all that stuff, and then I stopped once I kind of got out and explored the world a little bit. Hack some
Whoa! I didn't even get that far in the story yet. I've been busy doing all the side missions.
Wait, that's the first mission. It's where it starts you off.
Oh, is that the stadium? Okay, sorry, yeah. Right,
I say you can't not do that. You don't get to go out into the world until you get out of that stadium, turn the power off.
Like a tutorial mission, right?
Yeah, so I did that, and then I went out and explored the world, and I basically just drove around hacking traffic lights as I drove down the street. So.
And then you kind of realize that's stupid. They're just going to cross while I'm trying to cross.
Yeah, exactly. Those people, man, have the quickest reflexes of anyone in the world. The moment that light turns green, they go. Like, in real life, it takes people a second to, like, process the light's green, then go. It's like, that light turns green, just full speed through that intersection. It's like, what are you people just, like, sitting there with your foot over the gas, just like, I'm going, I'm ready, I'm going. Just take off. But yeah.
And you can get some really nice set pieces once you unlock the road blockers and stuff. So if you're being chased by the police, then it'll, rather than you having to figure out the timing, it kind of, it's like, it's a set piece where you have to, those games where you have to press buttons at the right time. It's kind of like that. You hold down X when it starts flashing.
Yeah, quick time events.
Yeah, and then, oh yeah, that's what it's called. And then the police cars will crash into it or whatever. They'll usually trigger a cutscene. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's
back to everyone, in case you were curious.
It's good. I like it.
The chat room is back online, James. Did you know that?
Is it? Is anyone there?
Me, Scudderman, and Koshi right now.
Jesus Christ.
So that's the last thing we got to talk about today. That's the show. So yeah, I think we'll do the sign off. There won't be an after show today because I don't know. I don't feel like making Photoshop shit. We'll make some kind of image. I don't know. Whatever. I think for the title we should probably go with IT emergency. What do you think?
That could work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty suitable to the way the show ended. So let's do the whole where we say the stuff, the things, the promotional things. So let me go through and do that real quick here because that seems pretty useful. So make sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Technophilia podcast. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/the Technophilia. Follow me on Twitter at Sidox. James's Twitter is something with some wolfies and a 0 in it instead of an O.
Smith with a 0.
Wolfie Justin is at
W0L. No, don't give out Justin. He doesn't need any more followers.
I don't even know Guy's Twitter.
Smith.
What is Guy's Twitter? Do you know?
No idea.
Fuck him. He left early. He doesn't get to pimp his Twitter. We got some other Facebooks like Make Use of's Facebook is whatever. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/makeuseoftv. And I think that does it for what we got to say to take us out. So thanks for listening / watching this episode of Technophilia. We're sorry we didn't have Justin this week, but he's got more important things to do than hang out with us. And we'll see you guys next time. There, that's where you can cut it in the thing now. See, I gave you a nice out. Boom.
Are getting crap in the chat room for only having a short show.
Well, you can thank our overlords for that. So we don't. Yeah. So I think that about does it. So we'll go with IT emergency for the art, and I'm gonna. I'll try to make something that is art. I won't just use last week's art and cross out. And
worst episode ever.
I thought it was fine.
That's what they're saying. Worst episode ever.
Well, go ahead and email the big dogs and tell them how you feel. What is the Shutterstock? That's the thing we can use.
I don't know. No, you can't use that. Use a morgue file.
What is it?
Morgue file.
What the fuck is that?
It's free to use images where you don't have to credit anything.
Oh. You think they're gonna have a picture of a computer on fire?
I think they'll have a picture of a computer and some fire. You could probably paste them together in Microsoft Paint.
All right, maybe you know what? Fuck it. I'll screen share and you guys can watch me. This should actually be interesting because you can watch me attempt to Photoshop because I'm not good at it like Justin.
Hang on. Scudderman posted something we could possibly use for the art. Technical difficulty. No, we can't use that. That's a Simpsons thing, isn't it?
Koshi says email bigdogs@makeystuff.com.
No.
Because I don't email the big dogs. I like it.
Dave,
Broken.
in the chat room, yes, we are planning on doing a shorter show from now on. If that sucks, then you should tell us.
They don't even. Can I get a fucking picture of a computer up in here? Fuck, man. Just a simple ass picture of a computer. How hard is that to produce? Website with photos. This website sucks, James. It sucks.
You suck.
This website is garbage.
Don't we have any other competitions still running?
Yeah, but I didn't want to go all the way back. I just did the most recent ones. There's like 20 of them.
Oh, I'm sure there's not. Yep, there is.
I'm telling you, yeah, there's a lot. How do you find just the?
I log into PunchTab. You can head over to if you do the AOC, you can still enter to win that the USB monitor. There's the Evil Controllers Master Mod, which Dave was using to cheat. There's the Roku Streaming Stick, which is a Roku in a stick. Awesome. There's the Scuff One Elite Xbox controller. What was the point of that?
That's the best controller ever.
Okay, fair enough. And that was because it had non-sticky somethings.
No, it had bumpers on the back and better joysticks that aren't floaty like the Xbox One. But you got an Xbox One, obviously.
Right. So if you want an Xbox One controller with non-floaty joysticks. And then there was the Pebble Steel Smartwatch, which Yara reviewed. You can still enter to win that. Apparently it's kind of good. I don't believe that, but alright.
Alright, I got a laptop photo.
Good job.
Now I need some fire.
An hour-long show is fine if you have an hour-long after show.
Well, it might take me an hour to make a picture in Photoshop. I'm not Justin. Do you know what font he uses?
Yes.
Can I just steal a picture of fire from Google? Like, it's just fire.
All right, chat room. Do you think a shorter show would be better, like today, or a longer one? It's kind of up to you, really.
Yeah, bitches.
Because the theory was that you having to set aside an hour and a half to 2 hours of your day to listen to us talk about nonsense was not really a good idea. So we
I am so good at Photoshop. It is like watching a god work. It is like watching the. Oh, I forgot to clean out all the black in between the fire.
Oh my god! Turn the layer transparency down.
What?
Transparency.
What?
Opacity. Where it says opacity in the right.
What?
On the right of the screen, look.
What?
Right. All right. But what are you doing?
I'm doing something. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Let me deselect
Select
this.
that and go down to.
First, I need to make this fire smaller.
Oh, you suck. Go to opacity.
Look,
What?
see, it's gonna be right. No, no, no. It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be coming out of here like, wow, I'm on fire.
Fantastic.
Look at that. Look at that. It's on fire.
We can probably just use a Dave font. We don't need to use the actual font.
But it's on fire.
Yeah. Man, Justin's gonna kill us. Cannon was here too. Why aren't you in the chat room then?
Ah!
Scudderman has a good point. The show length should be determined by the amount of content, nothing more. If you have a hard limit, you're just going to be rushing through stuff. There you go. That's
Again, tell that
theory
to
I've
the
found yet.
bosses.
Up.
All right, how's that look, James? What do you think?
Let me move back. That looks fantastic. I'm believing that is on fire right now. So guess what? My mother-in-law's here from China at the moment,
That sounds exciting.
which is interesting. Although she did bring me like 20 kilograms of deep-fried chilies, which I love. So that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. And this shirt. Brought me some shirts. Lovely shirts.
All right, I'm turning the opacity down a bit. How does that look? Does it look like it's on fire?
Oh, totally. I'm convinced.
What can I do to make it look more like it's really on fire?
You could set an actual laptop on fire.
I don't have one to set on fire. What is the chat saying about my art? Anything?
Dupu says it's the best show image ever.
Where does he say that? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Last time I made a shitty Photoshop, I got yelled at. Remember with the Titanfall thing?
No. That
You
was
don't remember
awesome.
Yeah,
Why
but
would-
I got yelled at by Jackson and was told to take it down.
Oh, Jackson's a dumbass.
That's not true. Jackson is the best. I love Jackson.
No, I know. But he still shouldn't have told you to take that down. That was awesome.
I mean, this is probably not as bad as that, though. I mean, that had us riding on a Titan.
Maybe we missed some stories.
I know, it needs more fire.
Yeah, that's what it needs. God damn it, my keyboard's dead.
This is all completely authentic fire happening to this laptop. Why is the fire only on one part of the laptop, just the outside edge? I need more fire.
Hey, Guy's back. Guy, get back in the thing. Have you solved your emergency? This is inspired by you. Guy, get back on the show. Guy.
There we go. Now it looks like a laptop that's on fire, right? What do you think?
Yep. That's pretty good.
Except for this whole edge over here on the corner. Why is this not on?
Oh. Sig Interrupt says he's done a ride-along in a Google self-driving car. That's awesome.
That is pretty cool. I'm a little
Tell
jealous.
us about it. Was it terrible? Oh, God. Stop it.
What?
That's
Too much-
actually looking convincing now, Dave. You've ruined it. Guy's back.
I'm back.
Guy, you inspired the art this week.
What's wrong? Did someone update Windows XP?
No, somebody clipped a network line.
Well,
Well,
that
that
sounds bad.
Because the blue, you know that kind of network cable blue, it's not obvious enough apparently. Fuck.
Were they trying to trim their nails?
I have no idea what they're trying to do, considering it goes up through the attic space of a building, a warehouse.
How do you trim that?
I don't know. Kids today. Get off my lawn. What? There's a laptop on fire. What did I do to somebody's laptop?
It's an IT emergency.
Oh, because I had to bail. Hey, that's not bad.
Pretty good, huh?
That's actually, yeah, it was a telephone issue, basically.
I need that font though, James. Can you give me the font?
That little 8-bit font.
Let me figure out what it is. Where's my font?
Why do I hear myself in the background? Oh shoot, I have it live.
Yeah.
That was weird. I thought it was maybe, thought maybe my meds wore off or something. I was hearing voices.
Could be. Do-over of the show.
Yeah, I saw that. What,
Guy, have you played Watch Dogs?
have I played what?
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs?
Watch Dog, whatever.
The
S.
game?
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to say no.
Guy doesn't play video games.
Do you
I don't
not?
have time for that. I'm a mature.
Guy's like a real adult or something.
All business.
I can't tell what the font is. No idea.
You know why? The honest answer why I don't play video games?
No time.
I suck.
Well, that doesn't stop me.
James,
When
I've
I was-
decided that I'm not done with this image yet. It needs more.
When I was in high school, when Nintendo 64 and that came out, and all my buddies loved playing, Madden football and stuff like that, and then I'd play and they'd just take the controller away from me. They're like, no, stop, stop. So my nickname was Captain Nintendo because I just could not. Video games, no. Really. Unless it's an arcade, with the big red joystick and one button, I'm screwed.
Guy,
Get an Atari 2600. The ones with the paddle. There's not even any buttons. You twirl it back and forward.
There was that
Oh,
one with the Atari, and then Radio Shack had one with just a paddle that you moved up.
Yeah. That was the 2600.
No, this was way back. This was Radio Shack. I can remember probably 1978, roughly. That was my first. I guess that was really my first computer system. It wasn't a Trash 80. It was it was just, and just had the little paddle, like literally a stick that you moved back and forth. But I do remember the Atari with the dial.
Yeah.
And then there was the ColecoVision, and yeah.
That was awesome. Dave, what the hell do you think you're doing?
I don't know.
What the?
I felt like
gremlin in the machine.
Well,
I felt like this picture needed some James in it.
based on what you're wearing there, James, you are kind of flaming. Just saying.
Where's the eraser? Here it is. Give me a bigger eraser. Come on, Photoshop. Stop playing games with my heart. Whoa, that's fucking huge. That's more real.
Oh dear.
Have you used Pixlr?
What is that?
It's
Oh, is that the editor in the browser?
yeah, it's actually pretty darn good. I mean, for what most people do in Photoshop, Pixlr would be sufficient.
Yeah, I use that for like quick resizes
Yeah.
of images.
I was pretty impressed with it the other day when I had to use it. So somebody was complaining about the show being too short. What the hell was that all about? I mean, it's still going on.
Well, this is the after show though. It's not the real.
Well, the after show. This is where the cool kids meet?
This doesn't go into the actual podcast when we put
Oh,
it up.
this is bonus material.
All right, I have James now. What am I gonna do with James though? Just have him like hanging out at the bottom, like, hey.
What the hell is a bot game?
Yeah.
He's talking about Dota against non other players.
Oh, so he plays against a computer.
Yeah,
It's just the new way to say it because people are lazy.
because Dota is a game designed for multiplayer.
Oh, it's designed for multiplayer, so you have to import or load a bot in there somehow, per se, to play against you?
That's so stupid.
Yeah, it loads bots, like a team of bots to play with and against you.
Dupu is so poor, he's still playing the Atari 2600.
Do they call them NPCs anymore?
In like MMOs they do.
Okay.
Man, I don't know what I'm doing with this picture right now, but this thing is getting way too weird.
It's getting out of control.
It is just there's this nonsense happening.
Jackson's
all
just going
around
to
us.
slap your pee-pee again.
All right, where are we at with this thing? On the
A little bit of a fixation with fire there. A little freaked out. Now rotate it. Put your transform on, rotate it, give it a realistic angle.
James, what is
A
happening?
massive hand to go with his massive hat. Show that to your wife, James, because you know what they say about big hands.
They have big hands.
Exactly. Good pianist. Yep.
There, how does that look? James, do you approve?
That's awesome.
That could be the most epic one yet. It really could be.
All right, I think it is complete now. All right, now I just need the font.
Can't help you.
What's that font website for free fonts?
Freefont.com. I don't know. I pay for all my fonts.
The font. All right, I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Do any of these look like? Is this the one 8-bit 1_6? Does that look right, James?
No, it's not that. It's actually a commercial font, but you can't use that.
Then how did Justin get it?
Shh. um, he bought it, obviously, you moron.
Justin doesn't have any money.
We have a system in which we exchange money for goods and services.
Yeah, but you could.
Just use
What
any
about
8-bit font.
8-bit madness? Is that close enough?
Don't try and get one that's close. If you get it close, just use like Comic Sans or something. Get as far away from it as you possibly can.
Comic Sans, I like it. I like where your head is at.
Oh, God.
You're on Windows. You have Comic Sans, right? Yeah.
I should.
You know, they call it Comic Sans. Is there a comic with serifs? That would be cool.
Comic Serif. It's not really that comic anymore. There's got. I gotta look this up. It's gotta be
You wouldn't call it Comic Sans serif. You would just call it Comic.
Comic Serif.
How does he? What does he write? The name, the Technophilia. Why is my font
apparently
90 point?
That's huge. That's too small.
Technophilia 115. Is that how he writes it? And then on the bottom he puts the name of it, or does he do it all in one box? I forget.
Here's Comic Serif.
You know, when I told my wife I was going to be on Technophilia this week, she thought that was some sort of niche porn site.
It still could be.
It could be. It could be. She asked me if there was a cream for that.
Yeah, he puts that and then he puts it below. So Technophilia 115. Ah. 48 seems like a good number. Give it like a drop shadow, maybe. Everybody likes a drop shadow, right?
Drop shadow the shit out of that. Maybe do a pixel stretch too. Full-on 1990s design.
Oh, I don't like it to be to the left though. I like it to be to the right. Like that. Yeah. Give it a little more distance. A little spread. Too much opacity. Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
There you go. And now down in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to have to put a little copyright GeoCities or something.
I don't want to get sued by GeoCities.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Yeah, look at that. That is art, gentlemen. Oh yeah. I'm so artistically skilled. It is incredible.
That's pretty impressive.
Should be next Wednesday unless I'm having a baby, in which case it'll probably go on anyway and Guy will replace me.
There you go. Good Lord, if you're having a baby, we're putting that shit on, right? We're putting that on live. We're streaming that.
Oh, we could totally do that. Well,
Now, if it's your wife having it, I'm sorry, that's commonplace. But if it's you, physically.
fair enough.
Technophilia 115, baby.
Sorry, are you guys past the due date now, or?
No, not yet. 6th of June.
Oh, well, that's close as darn is to swearing, so.
Yep, could be any time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is James's face?
Faith. Or face.
It's in the art. Ha ha! Where did I save that to?
You send it to me, you dumbass.
No, but where did I save it to on my computer?
Just send it to me.
Yeah, but where is it on my computer?
Sig interrupt. I just realized that Guy left the show. Talk.io came back up, then Guy reappeared. Material for the rumor mill? Yes, I am actually a
How is
Talk.io.
the idea emerging?
I am a Talk.io VR character. This is I'm a holographic representation, and I'm going to bust into a never-before-heard Michael Jackson song now.
I think it's actually that you were that was the IT emergency that you.
It was. You know, I hopped on my G6 and flew out to Talk.io headquarters, set
Like
the
it-
fucker straight, and then came back. That's how I roll.
I'm just feeling so fly like a G6.
Yeah, boy. I was
All
hoping
right.
you'd pick that up.
James, the thing is uploaded to the makeusef.tv domain, so you don't even need me to send it to you, right?
Have you already uploaded it, or are you just lying about that?
No, it's there. It's uploaded. But I want to put it in the chat room for the chat people to see, but I don't know how to do that.
Put it in the chat room, yeah.
Scudderman, I'm not
How do
so
I get the URL from the file that I uploaded?
Don't know.
I don't think we're worried about spelling with this Scudderman because, well, look at the graphic.
I did it.
There it goes.
Look at that freaking art. That hand is so proportionately accurate to James's body.
That
We
fiery.
don't want to spell it I.T.
Nope.
That's wrong. Wrong.
That
It-
fire reminds me of a joke. Does anybody want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
How do you make a cat go woof?
Light it on fire.
Yeah. Put cover it in kerosene, light it on fire. Woof.
Why would that make it go woof? I don't get it.
The woof sound of something exploding in the fire.
Oh.
It's not funny when I have to explain it, Dave.
That was terrible.
I get it now. All right, guys. I think it is time to take this show. Unless anybody has anything else they want to talk about.
No, I'm good.
They're asking if I want to play Dota with them in 40 minutes.
Is Justin still away next week as well?
I don't think so. And I'm not changing the spelling. Should I change the spelling, James, or should I leave it as I got?
No, it's right. It's correct.
If people don't get that,
All right, good.
then they need Google cars.
All right, that's it. Kill the broadcast.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sorry the show is shorter, but we'll see you next time.
Take care.